Today, we're diving into an ancient prophecy that has just echoed through the millennia, the vision of Enoch. It's this incredible text full of cosmic terror, divine judgment, and ultimately, salvation. But it comes with a really fascinating twist.
And here's that twist, right from the very beginning. The author, Enoch, he makes it clear that this whole vision, it isn't for his own time. Nope. It's like a message in a bottle, a prophecy specifically meant for a distant, future generation, one that would actually be living through the events he was about to describe.
So who was this Enoch? Well, the text tells us he was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God. And this parable of his, as it's called, it's actually framed as a blessing. But it's a blessing specifically for the elect and righteous who will be alive during this great period of tribulation, a time when all the wicked are supposed to be removed.
Now, when you hear the word parable, you might think of a simple fable or a little story with a moral. But that's not really what's going on here. Enoch makes it super clear this is a divine vision that was shown to him by angels. He says he heard everything, understood everything straight from them. So this is less of a story and more of a direct spiritual download about what's to come.
The whole vision, it really builds towards this one single cataclysmic event. Enoch says the Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling. And let me tell you, this is not a subtle appearance. The eternal God himself is prophesied to come down and walk upon the earth with the full force of his might.
And the reaction? It's absolute worldwide terror. The vision describes this moment where all of humanity is just smitten with fear. But it's not just humans. This fear is so cosmic, so universal, that even the celestial angels, the ones known as the Watchers, are said to quake with fear and trembling. That tells you something huge is happening.
To give you a sense of the sheer power of this arrival, Enoch uses some absolutely incredible imagery. I mean, the very foundations of the world just come undone. The highest mountains, these symbols of strength and permanence, they're shaken, they're brought low, and they literally melt away like wax in a fire. It's a brilliant way to show a power that doesn't just dominate the world, it completely rewrites its rules.
And this deconstruction of the natural world, it hits its peak when, as the text says, the earth shall be wholly rent in sunder. So with the planet itself being torn apart and everything on it perishing, the stage is now set for what comes next, a final judgment for everyone.
So, out of all this destruction comes the real heart of the prophecy, a great sorting. It's a judgment that separates all of humanity into two distinct groups, and each one is destined for a very, very different fate based on how they live their lives.
And this division is it's stark. It is absolute. On one side, you have the ungodly sinners who are set to be removed, destroyed, and convicted for all their works and even their harsh words. But on the other side, the righteous elect are promised the exact opposite. They'll be protected, they'll receive mercy, and they'll have a future belonging to God. Okay, so after all that terrifying judgment, the vision's focus totally shifts. It turns to the promises made to the righteous. For them, this cataclysmic event isn't an ending at all. No, it's the beginning of a whole new reality, one that's defined by peace and divine favor. And we're not talking about vague promises here. The text gets really specific. It says the elect will receive peace, they'll prosper, they'll be blessed, they'll get divine help, and light will appear to them. It's a complete reversal of all the destruction from before, painting this picture of a totally restored and protected community.
Then, the vision snaps right back to that moment of reckoning itself, and it gives us one last really powerful detail about the sheer scale and the mechanism of this final judgment. The text declares, "Behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones." So this isn't a solitary act. God arrives with a vast, overwhelming celestial army to execute judgment, to destroy the ungodly, and to convict all flesh. It's meant to be seen as an absolutely unstoppable force. So, what does this all boil down to? What's the core message of the vision? It's a profound warning about ultimate accountability. It foretells a day of reckoning where absolutely nothing is missed. Every single ungodly act and even every harsh word spoken will face a final, absolute judgment.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This text was written, it says, for a remote generation. So whether you see it as literal prophecy or a powerful parable, it raises this timeless question about justice, accountability, and the consequences of our choices. What does this ancient vision of justice and division say about our own time?